And it was the time when I had cancer, and I wanted to do something with my life other than just work for myself.
Norma Nashed is founder and director of Reaching Hearts for Kids, dedicated to saving orphans from poverty and abuse.
It brings me joy, it brings me peace, purpose for my life, and significance.
A compassionate entrepreneur, Norma works full-time without pay, and she is not wealthy.
So I was willing to give whatever retirement savings I had because of my love to these children.
Norma Nashed gave away her modest savings to start her ministry 5 years ago. It helps more than 600 children in Asia and Africa, children who lost their parents to AIDS and other disasters. In Kenya, she sent help to a group of 70 orphans sheltered by Mary Matobo, a generous Kenyan woman who is not rich.
And these children have to be fed, have to be clothed, have to be educated.
Mary did not have any more food, even for one day. Norma sent her a 3-month supply, then a shipment of school furniture.
This really looks like a classroom now.
The orphans did not have a reliable source of water. Reaching Hearts for Kids is digging a well for them. In Medan, Indonesia, 38 children also get food, education, and medical care thanks to funds Norma raised. In Ethiopia, 480 orphans depend on Reaching Hearts for Kids to fund basic needs. Now, Norma is helping to build 12 houses.
And it will be philanthropy, so we'll have some donors. And
Norma's ministry, Reaching Hearts for Kids, its president and senior pastor, Michael Aksentenko.
She has worked with us, and we've worked with her to see her dreams realized for saving children around the world. We're not thinking big, we're thinking small, and then working out from the small. To create a home of 10, and then to create another home of 10, another home of 10. So to create model villages, to put children in homes with caregivers who can give them not just love and attention and food, but also values and connection.
Norma's love for children and her networking skills are attracting donations and services.
the donations have grown in the last 5 years from $5,000 in the first year to over $140,000 this year. Most of my donors are friends from the Middle East who give us substantial amounts now. But it took a few years to convince them that I'm, determined. There are more than 20 million children on the streets in Africa, and this is according to United Nations statistics. So how can we allow them to be there, defenseless, on the streets, victims of abuse and crime? This is 100% investment. You invest in the stock market, it may crash, but when you invest in lives, you make a difference, not only for now, for eternity.
The donations Norma generates are quickly recycled into checks and channeled to her orphanages.
This is the money we are sending out.
Norma has recruited her 2 assistants from within her church. Getika Bechter, a biochemist studying public health, has committed to lightening Norma's workload.
I didn't know she was doing this all on her own, but I felt a tugging that I should participate in this, but I ignored it for a while. And then finally I just gave in and I went up to her and said, Norma, if you have anything to do, I'd like to be part of your team, not realizing she didn't have a team.
John Shin, a graduate in informatics and finance, helps her in computer tasks.
I believe that the value I get from helping her as a volunteer far outweighs anything she could pay me financially.
Norma branches out thanks to her board of directors, all volunteers. To attract donations and services, she seeks interviews with newspapers, radio, and television, and her website asks for contributions. Conventions, held by the Adventist membership, are also a good means of raising funds and building partnerships. Global Vessels, a construction company, heard Norma's call. Fraser Mathis, its owner, has volunteered his expertise to build the orphanage Norma is planning in Ambo, Ethiopia. And other humanitarian organizations are coming to the rescue. Norma plans to generate regular income through sales of religious greeting cards and songs donated by their creators. Alyssa Nascimento.
My love is none my own. It all belongs to you. And after all you've done.
At the Points of Light Foundation, a nonprofit organization dedicated to engaging volunteers to help solve social problems, the president and CEO, Robert Goodwin, has these comments.
Norma represents one of those true heroes in our culture. Someone who has seen a need and without prodding or enlistment by any other force has decided to respond to that need. She was able to marshal both financial and volunteer services to join her in her commitment to satisfy the hunger and other requirements of these kids. And now this has grown into a multinational outreach.
What about her prospects for growth?
If you make it through the first startup period, there's every reason to believe that you can continue to attract support and in fact grow. And I think Norma has been a good example.
Can she rely on individual donations to grow?
There is a fairly reliable track record of donations from individuals for organizations that have proven that they are addressing real causes with impact. So you may have new donors to replace those that have fallen away from year to year. She may need to identify a professional fundraiser. She may need to enlist the aid of people who can help contact grant-making organizations.
What about business ventures?
There are organizations, Share Our Strength is one that comes to mind, that is specialized in the ability to come up with business concepts that can be run by the nonprofit organization in order to throw off revenues to support the mission-critical work of the organization. I think this is a growing trend.
$1 million will be needed in the next 5 years.
I just need to do my part and sacrifice and commit myself, and God will do the rest.